Game Master's here, and we've got this. Let's check it out.
Now, I have no clue exactly what this is, or even if it's licensed by Wizards of the Coast, but it is from a book company out of the UK called Farshore. It's not an incredibly thick book, clocking in at just under 100 pages. The cover is not as high a quality as the books from Wizards, but it does have a neat spot coating on the beholder and other pop elements here on the front cover. The pages within feel like they're about an 80-pound text weight, and right off something seems a little, well, off. Okay, their website cites that this book takes a look back at the last 12 months of Dungeons & Dragons, and I'll show you what I mean by off in a moment, but first, this section talks about different elves that can be found in Forgotten Realms. Well, okay, here's one thing that is a little off. I cannot recall a book that came out in 2021 that covered elves. Candlekeep Mysteries maybe had one, and I know that Wild Beyond the Witchlight dealt with the Fae, but I don't remember that it talked specifically about high elves, wood elves, drow, and the like. But this is where I get really confused. Icewind Dale. Now, if this book is to cover the stuff that came out in 2021, the only book related to Icewind Dale that I can recall in recent years was Icewind Dale Rime of the Frost Maiden, and that came out back in 2020. I mean, I do like that this has a neat cutout map of the area and has a few small blurbs about some of the locations, and this page even details a bit about Rime of the Frost Maiden, but again, it didn't come out in 2021. Peppered throughout the book are some puzzles. These are neat to try to figure out. Now we jump to Dark Alliance. This is one that came out in 2021. We had a lot of fun playing through it, and you can check that out here. Further into the book is a mock interview of sorts with R.A. Salvatore. This is a pretty good read. Then they list some of the more common monsters you might encounter along the way. Oh, and I thought this was cool. They detail out some of the different Dungeons & Dragons podcasts that are out there. Now this next little section talks about the various planes of existence. Again, I can't recall exactly which book these came out of, but it does mention the Feywild, which was heavily talked about in the Witchlight book. Another puzzle, Volo's Guide to Monsters. Oof, wait, didn't that come out, what, almost 5 years ago? Looks like this section goes over some of the more fun items, magic, and basics of combat. That's actually pretty cool. Some history of Dungeons & Dragons, that's really cool too. And let's see. More puzzles. Oh, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Wait, that came out in 2020 as well. Baldur's Gate 3, yeah, also came out in 2020. Xanathar's Guide to Everything? That was, wow, what, back in 2017? Descent into Avernus? Well, that's 2019. Okay, so either I've grossly misunderstood what Farshore meant by taking a look at the last 12 months of Dungeons & Dragons, or they kind of missed the mark on the title and the marketing of this book. I can give it praise in that the stuff in here is fun to read over, but for the most part, it's fairly generic in its presentation. I mean, it would almost have to be generic, seeing as it's, kind of just shy of 100 pages. I do like the puzzles found within. Those are going to be fun to work through. I do also like the content itself. What it does present is presented well. I just think that it falls flat when it boasts to be a D&D annual for 2022. Shucks, there isn't even anything in here about Strixhaven. They also made a D&D annual for 2021, but this one for 2022 is what I was sent to check out. Now, if you are in the UK, this should set you back about 9 pounds. That would be a little over $12 US dollars. However, because of how Amazon works, free shipping if you have Prime, they probably have worked the shipping cost into the cover price, so it will likely be closer to $25 or $30. All in all, I think this is a neat addition to my Dungeons & Dragons collection, and I gotta point out this section. It's all about dragons, which I gotta admit was a book that came out last year in 2021, Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. In fact, you can check out my massive playlist of videos that I did for that book here. We pretty much covered it, well, cover to cover, from chromatic dragons to metallic ones, even gave major coverage to Tiamat, so be sure to check it out. And until next our paths cross, may your definition of annual fall somewhere along the lines of or pertaining to a year, more or less.